So, welcome everyone to our Good of the Whole Monday morning resonance. And for those of you that are new, my name is Shelley Darling, and holding the space for this call that we've come together for over 7 years together, truly dropping in and feeling into this experience of wholeness, cultivating this ethos of wholeness. And I haven't been really well over the weekend, so I'm going to pass this over to Julie. But I just wanted to read something that came to me this morning, and I think it beautifully expresses the essence of good of the whole. So this is coming from Reverend Rita at the Center for Spiritual Living. And she says, "What does it mean when we say for the good of the whole? Wholeness in its exalted form is the experience of cherishing yourself and another. Wholeness is the experience of being valued and connected. It is the express quality of living in a state of unity, presence, and knowing. The experience of knowing is a key to this cultivation process. In becoming whole, we are developing a relationship with something that is invisible to our eyes, yet felt deeply in our hearts, both as individuals and as a collective. Wholeness makes us smile, and when we feel our wholeness, we easily embrace the wholeness of another. Cultivating an ethos of wholeness is recognizing that miracle in each other every day and in every way." And so just taking a breath, just invite you to deepen into that. And I'm past this beautiful Monday morning virtual talking stick to Julie. Thank you.
That was beautiful in itself, bringing us into a beautiful resonant space. But I'll just, before I do this attunement, I'll just mention for those that are new that this call is really coming together in this resonance field to hold this frequency, to hold this beauty and wholeness that Shelley just read about. And so in cultivating that ethos of wholeness, we just share from the emergent field. We share from this voice of wholeness, 1 to 2 minutes, and keeping our shares very brief. We come together and literally follow the thread of what's wanting to come through. So I am going to, it looks like I need to speak louder, perhaps. So I'll bring it closer because I don't have my headset close to me right now. So is this better? I just project a little bit better? Okay. So let's do an attunement, and then I'll turn it over to Nahid. And then if we need to bring more structure into the call for those that are new, we can do that. So let us just take a few beautiful breaths together. Not guiding or directing the breath, but just resting in the awareness of breath. Coming into the center of our being, those inward spaces and outward expressions of wholeness, of our whole beingness. And in that awareness, really tune into that wholeness code that lies deep within every cell of our being. Tap into that inherent wholeness that's coded in the trans dimensions of our beingness. Really the essence of life. And when we say trans dimensions, think of that in terms of transgenerational wholeness. That this is the code of life. And breathing into that wholeness. Take a moment to really embrace the wisdom. And we brace that wisdom in our own innocence, in our own expression of this wholeness. And without our minds having to figure everything out, we let go into the abyss of wisdom and wholeness and beauty. We rest in that awareness of the ineffable. And with that, as we come forward, let us bring that code forward in its purity, in its potency, in its possibility. That as we nurture our own capacity to live for the good of the whole, we bring that capacity forward in all of our expressions. With that, we cut through any external noise that isn't in alignment. And we bring forward the wisdom to this call today through our voices, through our connection, and through our wholeness. And with that, I'll turn this over to Nahid.
Good morning from Boulder. Today's reflection is the continuation of the topic of last week about the body sensation. And I was inspired by the last month talk by Deepak Chopra that at Ions. And the quote off the top is coming from that. And the rest, I was inspired to share this with you. All creation is born from nothing. Out of endless silence and darkness, light emerges. An endless dance of going in and out of form. So this is what he said. Consciousness modifies itself into sensations. Sense perceptions is a sensation. Another word for that. Images, feelings, thoughts, emotion. And the rest is a story. Hearing that, I thought, well, all that has been said, these are all energy. So if the rest is the story, the question is, why did we incarnate in the body? Why did we choose the body that we have? What is our story about the body? To access our wholeness, we need to be aware of what we are sensing and feeling, to bring a deeper healing to our most hidden aspects of our being. Remember, the sensation is of consciousness, and what we say about it is a story. We sense a situation and the body responds. It is like walking into a room and it does not feel correct or feel oppressive. Or traveling down a road and it does not feel right and you are urged to go another way. Consciousness is communicating with us in every moment. Whether we believe it or not, our body is the energy detector for the unseen realm, and it can be accessed, that realm, if we are free with our body. This comes from a place that I have been afraid of my body all my life and protected. So now, what if our body is the perfect ally to explore the subconscious and penetrate into the darkness of the mass to bring the light of a new awareness into our lives? Awareness of the body senses the energy of the situation and will give rise to a new awareness. However, to access our wholeness through body feelings and sensation, the first step is to have the ability to experience and express our sexuality and sensuality. But after that, the truth is, sensuality stands at the door of body wisdom. Even though it is the creative source energy, it is a way to go to that nothingness and create from. But that desire, especially for people who hold a space for others, which I would say it is us, we need to discipline that desire. In any creation, one must put the true needs and safety of the other one first. There is an exchange of energy whenever two people are coming together. The more intimate we are with our body and its intuition, the greater the access to creative energy is available for creation. Let's open to this experience of non-verbal communication. Notice where the mind is masquerading as the heart, and remove the mask of the heart. I am complete.
This is Shelley, and just want to mention for those that are new that just to speak 1 to 2 minutes and to speak to the whole, and enjoy that pause in between everyone speaking. And what is coming through inside of me is this self-perpetuating sense of aliveness, of creativity, of consciousness. And it's from that place that the heart rejoices, and where the heart and I dance together in that sense of freedom. And that, yeah, it just feels like it just kind of left right there, that when I'm in this experience of this aliveness, of this sense of all cells sparkling, there's a sense of ease and a sense of grace and a sense of respect and a sense of honoring. And from that, it perpetuates into my relations with everyone. And yes, sometimes it's challenging, and we have to become aware of that sense of something that may feel discordant. But that sense of aliveness is the power in which is the generator. It's the power in which this boat, or this waka, as this entity, this body of Shelley, and each one of us, it moves us into greater awareness of our interconnectivity. So with that, I'm complete, and I put the talking stick back into the center. Thank you.
I'm grateful for, this is Tammy, sorry. I'm grateful for holding space with this beautiful group, and that we are connected, that I feel the unity, that when we align our mind, body, spirit, we can co-create and also connect to Mother Earth, to the source, the field, the infinite, and hold our power, especially to co-create and bring what we need to this world. Feeling very connected to water. Minnie, water is life. I feel we need to heal there to start. It's a good start for us. So with that, I am complete. Thank you for helping me feel whole.
This is Sharon in New Jersey. And when I saw this morning's topic, I thought it was kind of perfect. I've been missing in action here for several weeks, and I've been sick for the last 3 with this nasty cold and cough. And it was just last night, after having been really down and out with this thing it developed into like where I couldn't breathe. So I was coughing, but I couldn't cough. I couldn't, and it was like my airway was really constricted. I'm like, what's going on? My husband was like, should we take you to the ER? And I'm like, no. So anyway, it settled down. But at one point, I finally remembered to ask. And you talked to Nahid, you talked about like the experience and then the story that we tell. And so I said to myself, what is going on? Is there some sort of message here for me about why I can't breathe? And it almost came immediately. And it was like, yeah, because I was thinking like, I'm okay, everything's okay, but actually it kind of isn't. There's some financial stuff going on right now, which when I shared it with a friend of mine, she said, I would be having panic attacks if I was in that situation. And I said, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm like, I've been here before and I know everything will be fine. And I'm doing some things and it will all work out. And that's the story I've been telling. And my body like said, no, you're not. It's not what's the way my body is feeling like I'm constricted and I have no room to breathe. So it was like, okay, I got that. Just like, stop trying to pretend, try that mask, the mind masquerading as the heart. I really saw that it's, the body doesn't lie. So the body is just giving me a clear mirror. And so it has been, all I've been able to do is rest. Went back to the doctor a second time and got a Z-Pack and, I will get better. But, and then it's just like, okay, now that I got that message, again, what do I do? Because I've been watching my tendency to, when I'm under this kind of pressure, I go off into a whole bunch of directions to try to fix things. And I feel like that's a lot of an old way of doing things that I've been really trying to step out of. So I'm in the question, just kind of living with my awareness and letting the body heal. And we'll see what emerges. And actually some ideas, different kinds of ideas have been coming in, and I've been taking note of those so that in gentle ways I can follow up on things and that seem to be leading in other directions. But I've just been honoring the process, and then here I am on the call and appreciate this theme. And so thank you for sharing that. I'm complete.
This is Susan. I'd like to come in right now. It seems appropriate. I'm new to the call, as you may know, and I live in Santa Monica, California. Kate and Cassandra have mentioned this call to me many times, and I see Rosemary. I know Rosemary and Oriana, so I know I have a few, known sisters, but I feel already just so connected to all of you. Nahid, what a beautiful description of our body, and just deepened me into what the body is, and as the vessel, and what we're here to awaken to. I too am a little sick. I have a sore throat. I've been trying not to talk, but just last week I moved a lot of energy. Ancestral energy, big time. And in fact, Friday was a revelation day, major breakthrough and leap forward. And so I woke up Saturday with a sore throat, and I thought that didn't surprise me, because of our body. And I really love the mention of the body as an energy detector and the aliveness as a generator. So just detector, generator, I'm just feeling into us being the technology, our body being the technology. And we do have to take care. Sharon, you what you just expressed. Our body gets hit and gets hit by the energy. But we can do this, and because we come together, we can do this together, and that's what this support is. We're in a new time, as we all know, and moving into this new paradigm, how we do it together, it's unknown, and we're learning together. And I'm just so grateful to be here. So thank you.
This is Cassandra in Central Texas. I'm marveling at how my body holds this sacred space for me. That I am here present while my consciousness is flying sometimes and hiding other times. But trying to anchor that in my heart feels like an empowering place to consciously co-create from, in a different way, perhaps a new way. It comes home to me every time that we gather that each of us, as we find the way within ourselves to express this life force, this consciousness, that we are all sharing a message. And I think that this is part of that evolutionary process. How we can be in the body of its senses and yet still have that connection to that which is beyond the physical is a great privilege to be able to experience here. It's all good. And I just continue to know that deeply. Thank you. And I'm complete.
Greetings all, this is Kate in South Dakota. I'm having like iPod or Sunspot or some kind of issues where I couldn't connect. I'm really bummed that I can't see everyone. In my attempt to embody wholeness, I just have to express the appreciation for you all in helping me understand so much more about this life. And as we are in this generation consciously aware that we are creators of it all, and really wrapping our minds around this museum in our minds that has brought us to this point, and reevaluating all of our, why we think the way we do and what we're here for and all of that. This wholeness is just keeps getting more whole, it feels like. And I just wanted to let you know I'm here, and I couldn't, and my difficulty with the video today, and I'll pass that talking stick to you.
Good morning, everyone. It's Nancy.
Hey, Nance, you're going in and out and we can't see you anymore. Just letting you know. Or hear you.
Okay, I'm going to go get a earphone. I'll pass the talking stick back, and then I'll come get my earphone and come back.
I would like to share my own personal experience in relationship with the body wisdom and the access to the heart. As a Middle Eastern woman, I've been very protective of my body. So today I know it's been a gift in the process, because it's like everything is already designed and I am walking inside of that blueprint. It's like that had to happen. From that place, when the mind is masking the heart, the body is the vehicle to access the heart, because this is to me is the filing cabinet. It's just the memory of all the experiences. We are carrying it with us. So when eventually I had to face this fear of not being violated in the sacred space, and I allow myself to go into the experience, so a lot came, emotions and feelings and deeper stuff from the subconscious that I had to deal with. Saying that, I had the opportunity, actually, after it took 2 years to process that. I wrote my first paper about this from the body wisdom. Actually, being free to be touched at whatever that it needs to be touched, and going deeply into the sensation of feeling of that particular spot. It revealed a lot that I was not aware of. And it was recorded, and actually that was presented in an international conference. So what I have experienced, that in the work that we are doing, which most of us, actually we are holding a space for others, I see the body it is our allies. It can help us to get quickly to that which we want to access. But then my experience is that we are afraid of the body. So if I'm working with somebody and I want to hold this other person, there's a lots of barriers that we have to go through. I have to go through. It's like, what kind of space what kind of safer space and I create to be able to hold this other one who is willing to go deeper and access the source. And so what I found out, regardless of the gender, men or women, this, whatever story we have about our body, especially sexuality, stand at the door to enter the wisdom of the body. Because we have been wired. It's like the body and the connection. Eventually, it doesn't matter, men or women, they go directly to the sexuality. So it's like I am opening myself into this question, and what I'm receiving is like, how can we pass this beast at the gate of this sacred space? What kind of understanding do we need to have about that? Now we know it's not the mass, this is the energy. How can we access through energetic, you said this is the technology. Yes, through this technology, how can we access the deeper wisdom that is already within us if we are not free with our body? I would just leave it at that.
I hope you can hear me now. Is this better? Yes, thank you. This is Nancy again from Southern California. But my body is really speaking today. I didn't really have the words, but my body is speaking. I'm looking out at these beautiful faces, and I'm recalling the term that I've used for so many years, the reunion of these, your lights. And it's just the most amazing thought and feeling and experience to look out, some of you who I know and some of you who I'm just seeing for the first time, and yet this is the reunion. Do we feel like sisters? We feel home. That is like the most important thing to me, this feeling that I'm feeling when I get on this call and connect with all of you, and very appreciative of that. It's interesting because I didn't know if I'd be able to stay on the call because I'm having really bad digestive problems from a bug I got in Mexico over a month ago. I haven't been feeling that well for a month. And I said to myself, no, just breathe in everybody here today and have the intention that that can heal my digestive system. And I don't know, the pain has gone away. I feel much better right now being with all of you. But from listening to all of you, the thought came up, okay, digestive, what can I learn from that? What am I finding hard to digest? And of course, there's many things going on in my life right now which are hard to digest. And then my acupuncturist told me she thought it was parasites. And I thought that was an interesting metaphor. So I'm just exploring my body situation right now and maybe focusing more after being with you this morning on what I can learn from that, how I can release that and get through some things. So I'm just very honored to be part of this circle, which today seems to be a sisterhood circle. And I don't know, my heart is full. My heart is full, feeling love and connection. Thank you very much.
Nebraska. It's hard to project a voice into this space without a headset because it feels so sacred that I want to stay in the silence. But throughout several voices, I'm just hearing this beautiful thread as the voice of the whole coming forward, in that we come so full into our expression as body that we transcend the body. And that as we, I'm thinking of whole body wisdom as if the wisdom is separate, and how we talk about embodied consciousness as if the consciousness is separate. And then we are talking about our bodies and being in our bodies as if they're separate. And I'm looking out into the beautiful landscape in front of me, knowing that as I can fully come into form, it's as if, like, imagining in those oneness experiences that we have, in those transcendent, blissful moments of oneness or out of body experiences, we completely lose the body and we are all things. We literally are. And I just am looking out knowing that I am the earth, and bring forward that wisdom. I am the water, and bring forward that wisdom. I am all of the elements. I am that tree right there. And I'm thinking about that tree that I'm looking at that appears to be something separate. And yet it grows so majestic. It holds wisdom. It holds, I remember Shelley dowsing and looking at that tree and the important role that that tree plays right here on the planet and for me in this space. And I am that too. So when I'm thinking about all these threads that are coming forward and how we speak about the body as separate, as a thing here, just looking for the language that helps us transcend that level of separation and back into that knowingness of who we really be in our wholeness, and that expression of our wholeness. And I feel several moments ago, someone said, thank you for helping me feel my wholeness. Showing up here helps me experience that. And it's because we are all of that. And with that, I'm complete.
This is Oriana, and I would like to follow that thread that Julie so beautifully put forth. And really feeling this transcendent, that which is who we are beyond what we can know. And willing to feel all of it. The willingness to feel. Embodiment. And all that it is
and all that it represents. Our ability to be energy moving through time and space, exploring a physical world. Wow, amazing. And feeling the sense of amazement and awe at the ability of a physical form and the wisdom inherent within. To bring it to regeneration, where the wisdom of the body knows just how to repair, renew, reinvigorate. And be vital. What is it to be vital? What does it feel being vital in the world, in the universe? Vital. I am vital. And as you bring the feeling into the heart through the midline, feel vital. Vitality, vital health on all levels. And in the midline of the heart, feel, I am vital.
This is Dinama. The body wisdom is calling for us to listen, to communicate, to vitalize the conversation, the cellular consciousness that we express is a total sum of all the dimensions of energetic being that we are. And we are. I mean, the body's a vehicle that is miraculous in that sense of being bio-oscillating antennas for the unified field. And it's that listening where we are informed and we source our knowing from our own body wisdom. The earth, Gaia, is calling for us to listen and respond energetically from a place of self-honoring. And in this way, heal our perceived separation and
breathe and be in wholeness in all our creations, our conscious creations. This body is our innate knowing. I'm complete.
Hey, this is Kelsey from Minnesota. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm connected to some cafe internet, so if I cut in and out, just let me know. But I was really happy that Julie mentioned about the elements. I was hearing a lot of talk about elements like Tammy with the water washing through, Sharon with the air, not being able to breathe. And I think a lot of our human bodies mimic that of which is going on with the world body. And they're just being multiple bodies. Our physical body being information, a source of feedback, what's going on in the world, what we're eating, what we're believing. And then we have, different emotional bodies and spiritual bodies and all this stuff. Really one of the same.
Hey, Kelsey, we just lost you, just letting you know.
And a lot of
Kelsey, you need to come back in. So I'm just going to mute you for temporarily and allow the energy to keep moving. But come on back in. Oh, she's gone. Okay. In this moment, what I'm noticing, this is Shelley. What I'm noticing is that there's this relationship between the energy. If everything is energy and everything is already interconnected, then my body is an aspect of that as well, is that energetic form in presence. And I was noticing and listening that in softening, that I had to soften my body. I had to take a breath and just relax in and allow that and reconvene like the river. I love what's being shared about the elements, like the river of life. That natural sensuality, which is my relationship with everything, starts to flow as an expression of my wholeness. And so as this call is shifting and opening to just the few people who haven't shared, this is a beautiful pathway this morning to opening into and becoming more aware of the relationship between consciousness, body, and heart. And so just so much gratitude to you all. And on this call, one of the things that I just wanted to share into this call as we and open to the people that haven't spoken is that we call this a practice. It's a practice of resonance. And it's really, its focus is that not so much as a course or dialogue or a conversation, it's learning how to track that frequency that we call the home frequency here. that leads us into a greater relationship, joy, and experience of what's being described as our body, whole body wisdom. So this is a practice. And we each have our different ways of expressing that. And so I thank everyone for showing up. And I just want to open it for the people who haven't shared yet, because we like to do that, whether it's just saying your name or having a moment or two to express what's moving through you. You are a part of this whole right here. And the rest of us inviting you as the banks of the river to hold and soften your bodies and open. And then we have a beautiful way of closing this call, a very unique way of closing this call, and a very fun way. So with that, I'm complete, and invite those who haven't shared to just come forward. And even if those who are the banks all of a sudden feel this urge, you've got to say something, I'm inviting you to just breathe with that and allow the people that haven't spoken to share. Thank you.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Michelle. Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll come back after you. Go ahead, Michelle.
good morning, everyone. This is Michelle. I'm from Minneapolis, and I just have really enjoyed the flow of the energy from here, and it's so beautiful to be in the presence of the energy that comes from, that's filled with loving love. And it's a lot easier to take in than some of those challenging ones that I'm having to process through in life right now. And just knowing that this gives me an added strength to be loving with my energy in the difficult conversations that we also are called forward to have at this time. So thank you.
Good morning. This is Rosemary from Costa Rica. I too will jump in the river and flow with this beautiful stream that we've co-created this morning. I'll go back to the reading and the question that was posed that I wrote down. And the question is, why did I incarnate into this body? And so as I've been witnessing and feeling what's been shared, I'd like to add my own aspect of the thread that we're weaving this morning. And it really comes to me in one word, and that's holographic. We are a hologram of Creator. And it was read in the reading that the creative source is consciousness. Well, so it follows that I am consciousness. And this knowingness and this trust in the truth of that I have incarnated into this body to express consciousness. My body is all-knowing. I am whole. I trust that. I know that. And so the wholeness flows through my version of co-creation. And that to me is the reason why I've incarnated into this body, to experience the joy, the feelings, sometimes of pain, of jubilation, all the different aspects that we as human beings have the privilege of experiencing. And the expression of me in my body, and why I did that, is to not only experience all the aspects, but to share it and to co-create with you in fields much like this one. Because we are expressions of the divine, co-creating what already exists, but we're pulling it here into manifestation. And that to me is so beautiful. I don't know if I'm being clear in my words, but I feel it. I feel our purpose here. I feel the importance of it. And much like, and I'll finish with this, much like my body has innate wisdom, much of which I could never understand. For example, digestion. How in the world does my body know how to digest what I put into it? It's an innate system within my body. And much like digestion and all of the other systems within my body, they come together, they co-create to form my body, the vehicle of my expression. And again, the holographic sense of we come together in all of our innate wisdom to co-create the human body, the body of humanity that we know based on our God consciousness knowingness, capital K, that we are here to express and bring into manifestation. So with joy and gratitude and love, I greet you today. Thank you so much. I'm complete.
Hello. Hello, John here in Los Angeles. And I just wanted to add my voice and express my deep appreciation for all the voices holding space to consider the divine moment that we're sharing. The ability to share that is a consequence of the senses that I'm lived by, life unfolded. And there are times when I feel so deeply present to that, and other times I lose that thread. But the body for me has been the royal road to knowing. And I appreciate this conversation and appreciate all the parts in attendance. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Good morning, everyone. This is Karen in Costa Rica. I just want to express my gratitude for all of you and all that you bring and the connection, and of course, all that we receive from the field so we can move forward and help in this world. So I thank you all for this wonderful call.
Well, with joy and goodwill, we have a beautiful way of ending this call, or the cyclic sporilic movement to take us into our day. And it's simply a choir of yum. And to take this energy from this call and just really feel it and send it out to all those that you're connected to, and to the earth and to elements and the planet. And know that we are whole beings in service to the whole, simply by just coming here and expressing this whole body wisdom for today. So with that, we just invite everyone to take yourselves off mute, and it's just a simple yum. It goes like this. Yum,
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 yum, yum, yum, yum, yum,
Shalom.
yum, 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 yum.